सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। शुकासारिखे पूर्णवैराग्यजाचे वसिष्ठा परिज्ञानयोगेश्वराचे कवी वाल्मिका सारिखा मान्य ऐसा नमस्कार माझा तया रामदासा गणाधीश जोईश सर्वा गुणांचा मुळारंभ आरंभ तो निर्गुणाचा नमो शारदा मूळचत्वार वाचा गमो पंथ आनंतया राघवाचा जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ। नुपेक्षिकदा देव भक्ताभिमानी, that is the topic Samarth Ramdas Swami is taking, that the Lord is so compassionate and is so proud of his devotees that he never gives up on his devotees, he never forsakes his devotees, he always comes and saves. So to prove this point, now he is taking different stories. In the last session we saw, first story was that of Ambarisha Raja, and how that Ambarisha Raja, who was a great bhakta of Bhagavan, was saved by Sudarshana Chakra of Bhagavan, even from the curse of Durvasa Rishi, and Bhagavan took that curse on himself and he took different avatars, for the sake of that devotee. Second story we saw was of Upamanyu. Upamanyu was a small child, from a poor family who did not get milk, and he prayed to the Lord and he did tapasya, and Bhagavan gave him entire Kshirosagar, entire milky ocean. And they take how much ever milk you want, you take. Entire ocean of milk he gave. Then we saw the story of Dhruva also. How Dhruva, when was humiliated by his stepmother and thrown out, how he went and in this very young age prayed to Bhagavan. Didn't even know anything. He's just 5-year-old small baby actually. And when he prayed, Bhagavan appeared. He didn't even understand that this is Bhagavan. That much was innocence. And Bhagavan touched his cheek with Shankha, and that is when he got all the power to even to speak, forget about all other things, and he got blessings of Bhagavan, and Bhagavan also blessed him and gave him a place that nobody can move, right? Place in the sky. That also we saw. Then we saw the story of Gajendra also. Gajendra Moksha Leela, which is very famous from Srimad Bhagavata. And Gajendra was a king of elephants and caught up in the battle with crocodile. He was about to die when he prayed. And we saw how Bhagavan immediately came, not thinking, not waiting for anything, and didn't even allow Garuda to land. He just left, jumped and saved that Gajendra. Udi ghatali zahala jivadani. He jumped from Garuda. That much Bhagavan feels for for the bhaktas. Next we saw Ajamela Papi Taya Anta Ala. The next story we saw was of Ajamila Upakhyana, again from Srimad Bhagavata. He was not actually a devotee or anybody. He was a sinner. Sinner in the sense he was a human being with so many flaws. Can't really say sinner like that, but has committed a lot of sins like all of us. Sometimes, when we see sinner, we feel that is something not us. We have committed lots of sins. So, like all of us, he was a person with flaws. And his youngest son's name was Narayana. So, while on deathbed, he was continuously being attached to that son. He was remembering Narayana, and he was calling. And just by that name of Bhagavan that he is chanting, he got mukti from all his sins. See, that is why we should name our children on some Bhagavan. It's a very, very important thing. Nowadays, I don't know what has happened. People want to keep some different name. I don't know what is this unique names that we want to keep, and we make it so complicated, not realizing that, their friends will make fun of them when they go to school, etc. Didn't all of us go through such kind of thing? We all were made fun of when we went to school. Though the names were simple and, sweet. Any different name was there, we were made fun of. Now I don't know, everybody's names are different only. Unique names. And no meaning also most of the times. And then say, Google says, Arey, what is Google? Sanskrit name you should find it in dictionary, not on Google. No, Google says that this is the meaning. And see, Google is exactly like how you have horoscopes in the newspaper, no? Have you read your horoscopes in newspaper? They will always be nice. And we will feel nice about ourselves that, oh, today some nice news is going to come to me. Why? Horoscope in my newspaper says so. No! Today whatever is your horoscope, tomorrow it will be for some other Rashi. Some other zodiac sign it will be put. And they want to please everybody. Like that Google. Some complicated name and some different kind of meaning they will give, which has no connection with Sanskrit or with the words which are there in that name. Let us not do that. Bhagavan's name is so beautiful. Why we want to change it? So we should remember that just by chanting name also Ajamil got liberation from his sins. Imagine. Now without devotion also he chanted. If we chant with devotion, there will be many more things that we will get. And last verse that we saw in the last session, where Samarth Ramdas Swami starts by expounding on all the avatars of Sri Mahavishnu. 10 main avatars are spoken of. Dashavatara, we know about them. So Dashavatara, first is Matsya. Matsya Avatara, he says, Vidhi Karane Ahalya. Matsya Avatara is taken by Bhagavan in order to help Brahmaji. Why? Because that Hayagriva Daitya took away the Vedas. So when Brahmaji had to create new Srishti after he got up, there were no Vedas. So Bhagavan took the form of Matsya, fish, entered into the water, Karana Jala, and then killed that Hayagriva and brought back the Vedas. Second, Dhari Kurma Rupe Dhara Prashtabhagi. Second is Kurma Avatar in a form of a tortoise. For what? To support the entire earth. Dhara Prashtabhagi Dhari, who holds earth on his back. We also saw that in Samudra Mantana also that Kurma Avatara was helping to support that Mandara mountain, etc. And then third one, Jana Rakshana Karane Nicha Yoni. Nicha Yoni, lower kind of form, and that is of Varaha, the form of wild boar. Varaha Avatara he took. For what? To help people and kill Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha had taken the earth right at the bottom of that Karanajala in total darkness. And Varaha Rupa, Bhagavan came as Varaha Rupa, went there, fought with him, killed him and brought the earth back into light. Right? So that also we also understood in the last session what is that darkness and light means. Puranic stories are suggestive also in nature. They show a lot of things. He took the earth to darkness means there was no dharma, there was no no, what do you say, goodness seen anywhere. That is why the whole thing happened. Right. Now we have to continue further. Some more avatars Samarth Ramdas Swami is explaining. Let us see verse number 121. महाभक्त प्रल्हाद हा कष्टवीला म्हणोनी तया कारणे सिंह झाला नये ज्वाळ विशाळ सन्नधी कोणी नुपेक्षी कदा देव भक्ताभिमानी. जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ. महाभक्त Prahlad. You see, in Marathi, Prahlad is written with L first and H later. Okay. But in Sanskrit, H comes first and L comes later. L is complete, H is half. Okay. Some change like this will be there in regional languages. But actual word is Prahlad. Prahlad is the correct pronunciation. Prahlad. So Prahlada's story again comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. Very, very famous story. We all know the story very well. That Prahlada was son of Hiranyakashipu and Kayadhu. And when Kayadhu was pregnant with Prahlada, that time only the battle started between Hiranyakashipu and Indra. And the battle went on. So to save her, Hiranyakashipu requested Naradji to take care of Kayadhu. So he took Kayadhu to his ashram, and she was, being taken care in the ashram, and she, in the childhood itself, when Prahlada was in mother's womb, he learned so many good things about Bhagavan, because in ashrama what else will happen? So when that was satsang etc. was happening, he could hear everything. So when he was born only with that kind of devotion. Whereas Hiranyakashipu was exact opposite. Hiranyakashipu had enmity and hatred towards Bhagavan Mahavishnu. Why? Because his elder brother Hiranyaksha was killed by Mahavishnu in Varaha avatar, in the previous avatar, isn't it? So he was little angry. So he had defeated Indra and he was ruling over everyone, and he had told everyone that nobody should chant Bhagavan's name. Vishnu should not be worshipped. Whereas his own son was born with that devotion to Mahavishnu, so he used to keep chanting Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He used to keep chanting Mahavishnu's name. So naturally Hiranyakashipu became very angry that everybody else is scared of me and following this, but my own son is going against the rule that I have made. So he tried to explain this to Prahlada. He changed the teachers that are teaching Prahlada. He even punished teachers also. What kind of things you are teaching? I have made rule that nobody should worship Vishnu, and he is worshipping Vishnu. But nothing happened. Prahlada continued to do that. On the contrary, in his Gurukula, he used to take separate classes and explain about glories of Bhagavan and how devotion should be there, etc. Balvihar started there. He used to take classes for other children. And that is how Prahlada used to be. At some point of time, Hiranyakashipu became so angry that he started to arrange for ways by which we can kill this Prahlada. And you see, there are so many, we have heard also stories from childhood, so many ways he tried. He took Prahlada on top of a mountain and threw him from there. A wild elephant was there. He tried to put him under his foot. And he put him into the fire, with his sister Holika. Holika had blessing that fire cannot burn her. And therefore with Holika, he made Prahlada also sit there, thinking that Holika will not get burnt, Prahlada will get burnt. But actually happened opposite only. Holika got burnt in that fire. That's how we celebrate Holi in that day, So like that he tried so many methods. But Prahlada did not die, and Prahlada did not even think of anything. His focus remained on Bhagavan. So finally, in that one moment, he was there in the entire Sabha, and he asked Prahlada, why do you worship God so much? He says, because he is the creator of the entire world, he is the master. He is there in the entire world. Hiranyakashipu said, oh, he is there everywhere. Where is he? Tell me. Prahlada said, where is he not? That you tell me. And then Hiranyakashipu kept asking, is he there in this? Is he there in this step? Is he there in this? And then one pillar was there, and he said, is there in this pillar? He said, yes, of course he is there. And then this Hiranyakashipu went tried to break that pillar. Bhagavan himself came from inside the pillar in a very, very terrible form. Simha, म्हणून तया कारणे सिंह झाला. He was a Nrusimha form. Nrusimha means half man, half lion. So the face of lion, terrible, eyes red with anger, and he had all those hands also and claws also of lion only. Nails and everything was there. And when he came, he started destroying every person whom he could get his hands on. And Hiranyakashipu before that had prayed to Brahmaji and got very interesting vara. He thought that he is very intelligent. He first, of course, everybody who used to pray, they used to ask for immortality. Brahmaji will say, no, immortality I can't give. Why? Because I myself am not immortal. How can I give immortality? I myself have fixed amount of time. Yes, very long, but fixed. So then he asked that, very complicated boon he asked, that I should not be killed in the day nor in the night. I should not be killed inside nor outside, neither on the earth nor in the sky, neither by human nor by animal, neither by deva nor by asura, neither by any astra nor by any shastra. By no weapons I should be able to kill. And he thought that he has covered everything. But nothing doing. Bhagavan Vishnu is Bhagavan Vishnu. He made sure that he had not covered everything. So what? He came during evening time, Sandhya Kala, which is neither day nor night. And he took this Hiranyakashipu on his lap, on a threshold of that sabha. So neither inside nor outside, on the threshold. He took him on the lap, so neither on the earth nor in the sky, and killed him with his nails. So neither by any astra nor by any shastra. And came in which form? Bhagavan came in the form of half man, half animal. So you can't call it as man or animal or god or rakshasa, nothing you can call him. So that way he killed this Hiranyakashipu, and he still was not content, he was so angry. And oh my God, he just destroyed all the Rakshasas who were there. Literally destroyed, and even then he was not satisfied. That's why it is said, Naye Jwala Vishala Sannadhi Koni. His form was so terrible that nobody wanted to go near him. Sannadhi means Sannidha. Nobody wanted to go near him. We know that in Bhagavatam it is so beautifully explained that nobody, Brahmaji said, I am not going. Devatas, Indra Devatas, etc. They said, no, if you can't go, where is the question of we going? So Brahmaji said, let us call Mahalakshmi, Bhagavan's wife. Only wife can go near. Mahalakshmi said, I can't go near him. What is this? My husband is not like this. My husband is so beautiful, so nice to look at. Shantakaram, Bhujagashayanam, Padmanabham Suresham. Such a beautiful, simple person. What is this? Vikrala Rupa, this is not my husband. So Brahmaji finally told Prahlad only to go, and Prahlad went. He was not looking at that form as any terrible form or anything. He had so much of love. So he looked at it from a very different angle. See, that is another thing which is very beautiful, which Puranas etc. will explain in Bhagavad Puran, especially in Krishna Lila. This episode comes where Vedavyasji explains to us that Bhagavan appears different to different people according to their devotion. So how each person will have a vision of God will be very different, because God is appearing in different forms at the same time. At the same time, he is appearing in different forms. So everybody will look at Bhagavan and they will have a different rupa that they will see. So here also, when everybody was scared of that rupa, Prahlada was not scared. Why? Because for him, that was a very generous and very compassionate Lord. It's not terrible form. So therefore, we see that thing also in that avatara. So he is not scared. Prahlada went near, and the moment Nrusimha saw Prahlada, he just melted. And he had tears in his eyes, and he took this Prahlada, again small boy, close to him. And he just forgot everything else. Right? That is what we see. Then Mahalakshmi also came, of course, and then famous that Murti etc. we have, no? Lakshmi Nrusimha. Bhagavan Shankaracharya has also composed a stotra, Lakshmi Nrusimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Lakshmi Nrusimha Stotram. So that is that form of Lord. But you see, for the sake of his devotee, he came in such a form and destroyed everybody. So all these stories should inspire us to have more devotion for the Lord. We should not find reasons, oh, Prahlad, for Prahlad Bhagavan came, for me he will not. No, if our bhakti is that strong, and if our, situation is also that terrible, Bhagavan will come. If the situation is not terrible, then why will Bhagavan come? I remember one anecdote of Gurudev. Somebody went to Gurudev and said that, Gurudev, so many terrible things are happening in the world. Why Bhagavan is not taking avatar? And Gurudev said, you see, we think that the terrible things are happening in the world, but they should be the level of terrible that Bhagavan has to come. He says every time Bhagavan will not come. Sometimes he sends people like us to treat people like you. He says every time Bhagavan will not come with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, etc. to save. He may not take avatar like that. The Santa saints are also avatar of Bhagavan only. Correct. So all these things also we see. Mahabhakta Prahlad, Kashtavila, when Hiranyakashipu troubled him, Manoni Taya Karane Simhajala, he took the form of Nrusimha and appeared. Nayejwala Vishala Sannadikoni. It is said that from his body, deadly fire was being emanated, and therefore nobody dared to go near him. It was like a Pralaya Agni. And therefore they were so scared, and that is why they say that mane will be there, no? For lion, that mane will be there, no? M-A-N-E, that hair around the face. Say that is golden color. You must have seen. This golden color almost becoming red. That's because that was emanating fire. In that Narasimha Rupa, that's why that color has come. Anyways, so the point was nobody even went near. But for Prahlada, Bhagavan appeared in a very different way. So that is the story of fourth avatar, that is Narasimha avatar. Now what? Now next one. Let us see. Verse number 122. Kripa bhakita jahala vajrapani taya karane vamanu chakrapani dvijankarane bhargavu chapapani nupekshi kada deva bhakta bhimani Jai Jai Raghuvira Samartha. Beautiful verse. He says Vajrapani, Chakrapani, Chapapani. What is this? Kripa Bhakita Jahala Vajrapani. Pani means hand. Vajrapani means one who has Vajra in his hand, thunderbolt in his hand. Who is that? That is Indra. Indra's weapon is thunderbolt. So this Indra, Kripa Bhakita Jahala, he asked for help. Taya Karane, for his sake, Vamanu Chakrapani. He became Vamana. Who? Chakrapani. Chakrapani is one who is having Sudarshana Chakra in his hand. The disc is there, no, in his hand. That Chakrapani Narayana, Bhagavan Mahavishnu, became Vamana. Vamana in a form of a dwarf actually. Very short man. And he went there and he started. We know the story, no? Mahabali was a king. And this Mahabali was ruling the entire earth, and he had done sankalpa of doing 100 Ashwamedha. So in Vedas it is said, if you do one Ashwamedha or Rajasuya, then you will go to heaven. If you do 100 Ashwamedhas or 100 Rajasuya Yajnas, you will become Indra in the heaven. So to become Indra, that is the criteria. So it is said this Mahabali had completed 99 yagas, Ashwamedha yagas, and now he was doing the 100th. So Indra got scared that if he completes 100th yaga, he will become the next Indra. So Indra went to Bhagavan and asked for help, and for his sake, Bhagavan took form of this small Vamana and came into this Yajnashala, Mahabali. Actually, it's a very interesting thing. We are discussing this when Kerala has started Onam celebration. Next Sunday will be Onam, main Onam, Tiruonam. Tiruonam is the day Bhagavan Vamana avatar happened. Onam is celebrated actually for that. Vamana avatar happens on that day, and interesting that we are discussing this story at this time. And Onam is big festival in Kerala, we all know. Somehow Kerala has gotten associated with Mahabali. Actually, Mahabali was ruling everything, okay? But they have special love for Mahabali for different reasons. Kulashekara Alvar, also the next, the king that became later on, he had started that worship of Vamana, and there is a Vamana temple also in Kerala, very beautiful. Not one, many temples, but one very powerful temple is there of Vamana Bhagavan, and that celebration of Onam started. So Onam is the main festival of Kerala. In Kerala, the main festival is Onam. Like we have Diwali in North, no? 10 days festival will be there, different things that happen on 10 days. In Maharashtra, etc., you come, Ganesh Chaturthi is also very big festival. Again, there will be, 10 days of celebration. Like that for Kerala, Onam is huge festival, right? And therefore, there are lots of 10 days of celebration actually happens. And they believe that, we'll see in the story also, when Mahavishnu came there in that form of Vamana, he asked Mahabali to grant him 3 wishes, because Mahabali came and he came as a Brahmana, small Vatu, when just Upanayana is over, in that form he came. And he asked, this Vamana is actually son of Aditi and Kashyapa Prajapati and Aditi, one of his wives was Aditi, no? So Adityas, one of the Adityas is Vamana, okay? That's why we also call Indradi Devata as brothers of Bhagavan Vishnu. Not Bhagavan Vishnu as such, but Vamanas, brothers, right? So he came there and Brahmana had come. So Mahabali actually was not a bad king. There is another, very well known, very famous narrative that Mahabali was very bad and Bhagavan came. He was not bad. The only thing was his ambitions became too big for his own good. And therefore, Bhagavan allowed, allowed that kind of escape for him. Actually, he was not a bad king. Bhagavan did not come to punish or anything. And that's why he did not kill Mahabali. That's the whole point. Mahabali was actually devotee of Bhagavan. So, when he appeared in that small Vatu's form, he went and asked, O Brahmana Devata, what I should give you? He said, I only want 3 feet of land that will be required for my 3 feet to be there. Mahabali said, I have full earth with me, I can always give you. So at that same time, Shukracharya came. Shukracharya is the guru of Asuras, no? And this Mahabali is actually very well known. He is a grandson of Prahlad and son of Virochana. Very, illustrious lineage. Prahlada was a great bhakta, though born in Asura Vamsha as son of Hiranyakashipu. Prahlada was a great bhakta, we have already seen. So this Mahabali was grandson of Prahlada and Virochana's son. And therefore, Mahabali had that devotion. But Shukracharya Rishi, came there, he was guru of Asuras, and he said, don't promise anything without thinking, because this is not some simple Brahmana. This is Mahavishnu who has come in disguise. And Mahabali replied very beautifully. He said, if really Mahavishnu has come here and asking something from me, don't you think I should give? And Shukracharya tried to warn him, saying that, see, this Mahavishnu has got that knack of chala. He will do chala and get things what he wants. He will cheat. That's his nature. Mahabali said, so what? Let him cheat. He's going to cheat me only, na? Let him cheat. And with that understanding, he gave these 3 feet of land to Vamana. And the moment he gave this, Vamana started to become huge. And it is said in 1 foot he covered, the entire earth. In the second foot, in second stride, he covered all the worlds, all the other worlds. And you must have seen, in the movies or in different channels, series, etc., or serials, etc. Also, they will show that he started becoming big, and his leg is going like this up, and he went to the Swarga, etc. Also, all those beautiful stories are there. There is also interesting story that when his foot was going to all the worlds, it reached up to the highest world, that is Brahmaloka. So Brahmaji was there with his kamandalu, water was there in his kamandalu. He did abhisheka of the feet of the Lord, Vamana's feet. That only became Gangaji and started to flow in Swarga. Okay. And then by Bhagirathas, that Tapasharya, etc., that Gangaji came on earth. Right. So Gangaji's Ugama is actually directly from the Kamandalu of Brahmaji, and did Tapasharya, did Abhisheka of Bhagavan's Mahavishnu's feet, and then started to flow, and then it appeared on Shiva's head and from Shiva. So that's how Gangaji is so important in our culture, because Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all 3 people have blessed. That's why Gangaji is so important. Right. What is the point? The point was Vamana measured all the worlds, earth also and all the worlds, in 2 strides. Then he looked at Mahabali and asked, where should I keep my third stride, third foot? So when that happened, Mahabali understood that Bhagavan is trying to teach me something. So he said, you have taken everything that already belonged to you. Now I will offer what is mine, and that is my ahankara. And therefore, Mahabali sat down and offered his own head and said, please keep your foot on my head. Surrendered. Bhagavan became so pleased, he kept the third foot on Mahabali's head and pushed Mahabali into Sutala Loka, into one Loka, below. One of the Adholokas, Sutala Loka, in one of those worlds, he pushed Mahabali. Mahabali is still there in Sutala Loka. And he is being protected by Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan is standing as a guard, and Mahabali is inside very comfortable. Why? Because Mahabali is going to become next Indra. Present Indra is Purandara. Next Indra is going to become Mahabali. That's why for our Yuga, Chatur Yuga, Mahabali is one of the Chiranjeevis. The 7 Chiranjeevis that we generally say, no? Ashwathama, Balir, Vyaso, Hanumamsha, Bibhishana, Kripah Parashuramasya, Saptaite Chiranjeevina. In that it may not come, but Mahabali for us is there. Ashwathama, Balihi. The second one, that Balihi is Mahabali. So Ashwathama, Bali, Vyasa, Veda Vyasa, Hanuman. Hanumanji is also Chiranjeevi for us, because it is said in the Puranas that Hanumanji is going to become next Brahmaji. So he is also there. Hanuman. Vibhishana, Ravana's brother. Kripacharya and Parashurama. Parashurama is also, we will see the story. These are the 7 Chiranjeevis. Mahabali is one of them, who is there in Sutala Loka being protected by Mahavishnu. So in Kerala, it is believed that during these 10 days, Mahabali comes and visits all houses, his kingdom. And therefore, all houses, they keep Pookolam outside. They do Rangoli with flowers. Poo means flower. So with that, they will do different designs in front of their houses, and that design also will go on becoming bigger and bigger every day. You must see, very interesting. They will start with a small design, then every day. Last 10th day, main Onam, Tirunam will be huge design, very beautiful floral design they will make. And in the center of that, they will worship, those Vamana Murti will be there. They make it out of clay, and Vamana will be there, and Vishwaksena and all that. And then those 3 feet of Vamana you can see. if you have seen traditional Onam celebration, then you will see all that, and Bhagavan's birth, Vamana Avatar's birth is also celebrated at that time. This is a very beautiful time for us. In this 1 month, there will be Krishna Janmashtami also, and then there will be Ganesh Chaturthi also, and Onam also will be there. Everything comes very close. A lot of celebrations, a lot of avatars, right? So, Vamana came to help Vajrapani. Vajrapani is Indra. Taya karane Vamanu Chakrapani. So, that avatar also we see, which is the 5th avatar. Then, 6th avatar is Dvijakarane Bhargavu Chapapani. Dvijakarane, for the sake of Brahmanas, Dvijankarane Bhargava, from the lineage of Bhrigu Rishi, Bhargava Ram. Sometimes his name is also Bhargava Ram. Sometimes he is called Parashuram. Why? Chapapani, because he had that chapa in his hand. In one hand is chapa. Chapa means Dhanusha. Chapa means Dhanusha. So, Dhanusha is there in one hand, bow is there in one hand, in another hand is Parshu. You must have seen Parashurama's picture also, no? Image also. So, that Parshu is it. So, one name of him is Parashurama. His name was Ram actually, so Parshuram, or sometimes he is called as Bhargava Rama. Bhargava because he is in that Vamsha of Bhrigu. He was born as son of Jamadagni and Renuka. Jamadagni Rishi and Renuka was a Kshatriya lady. So he was born from them, and so many stories are there. I am not going to go in detail, but he had lot of anger towards Kshatriyas who do not follow Dharma, because they were responsible for his father's death. The family of Renuka was responsible, and therefore it is said that when this whole thing happened, he worshipped Bhagavan Vishnu, and actually Bhagavan Vishnu's Amsha entered into this Parashurama. Parashurama was not born avatar. No, his Amsha entered, Bhagavan Vishnu's Amsha entered into Parashurama, and he did his avatara karya. He went on to kill 21 times all the bad Kshatriyas from the earth. All the bad Kshatriyas, okay, or not all the Kshatriyas, all the wicked Kshatriyas who have, because of the power that they had, those who have digressed from the path of Dharma, he went and killed them 21 times, Nikshatriya, right? And very, very powerful person. And then when he met Sri Rama in the next avatar of Mahavishnu, Sri Rama, his Amsha went and merged back into Sri Rama. That's the story. So his avatar karya is from his tapasarya to this meeting with Sri Rama. Later on, the story goes forward, because Parashurama is, another Chiranjeevi. So he came in the what do you say, Western Ghats, Western side of Bharata, and settled there and created so many settlements. So actually, he is worshipped a lot in Konkan area of Maharashtra, and that's where Konkanas, the Brahmins, Brahmins who are from that Konkan, their lineage is traced back to Parashurama. So they will be called as Vamshajas of Parashurama, right? Then you come little down, Karnataka coastal area, then Goa, then Kerala coastal area. This entire coastal area, right from Gokarna, which is in Karnataka, up to Kanyakumari. This entire coastal area is called as Parashurama Kshetra. This is the place where Parashurama stayed and created establishments. So all Kerala is entirely created by Parashurama. Created by Parashurama means settlements of people was created by Parashurama. So it is believed that Parashurama brought different people from other parts of Bharata and made a separate settlement called as Kerala. So in Kerala, the traditions which are there, they will be little different from other. Why? He wanted to create that distinction, no? So when Shikha etc. needs to be kept behind for all other places, he kept it here. So in old Kerala Brahmins etc., Nambudiri families etc., you will see Shikha will be here, and such changes. Some distinctions are there in Puja Paddhati etc. etc. in temples. all these kind of things. But this is a very powerful, very, what do you say, rich area of Bharat. Not just naturally rich, but also culturally rich. Many great saints, etc. are from this. So if you start from Gokarna, you see there are so many Udupi, Mangalore, Goa, all those things are in that same belt. Okay, and then of course Kerala also. So Parashurama, lots of temples of Kerala are established by Parashurama. The famous Vadakunatha temple in Trishur, by whose grace, by that Shiva's grace, Shankaracharya was born. Shankaracharya is considered to be avatar of that Shiva. That temple is also rebuilt and established by Parashurama only. So many powerful places which are there in Kerala are because of Parashurama. So this is Parashurama avatar, and in his avatar karya he did so many other things. He killed Kartavya Virajuna, etc. So many such stories are there, So Parashurama avatar is the 6th avatar, Dvijakarani. For the sake of protecting Brahmins, he came. Nupekshikada Deva Bhakta Abhimani. Bhagavan never leaves, forsakes anybody. Now what further? Next avatar. 123. Ahalye sati lagi aranya panthe kudava pudhe deva bandi tayate bale sodita ghav ghali nishani nupekshi kada ramadasa bhimani. Jai Jai Raghuveer Samartha. Did you see that change? From Deva Bhakta Abhimani, he said Ramadasa Abhimani. Why? Because in this verse he is talking about Sri Rama Avatara. Ahalye sati lagi aranya panthe. He says, for the sake of that great lady Ahalya, who was there in the Aranya Pantha, in the Marga, in the road to that forest where he met, he came as Sri Rama. Now you see, Bhagavan came for many reasons, but here the topic is Nupekshi Kada. Bhagavan never forsakes his devotees. That's the topic. So Ahalya is taken as example. And to save Ahalya from her curse, we know the story, etc. I am not going to tell the Ahalya story, etc. now. We all know the story of Ahalya. And Sri Rama came, and with the touch of dust of his feet, Ahalya gained back her form and all her sins, etc. were washed off. Second thing he says is, Kudava Pudhe Deva Bandi Tayate. In order to release Devatas who were kept as prisoners by Ravana. Kudava Pudhe Deva Bandi Tayate. Bale Sodita Ghava Ghali Nishani. And therefore, with his mighty bow, he hit the target. Target was Ravana. For the sake of releasing Devatas, he killed Ravana. Now, this is another point which is very, very beautiful and important to understand in the Ramayana story. Many people think out of his personal enmity towards Ravana, Sri Rama killed Ravana. No, that is not true. He did not kill Ravana just to get back Sitaji. That is one of the reasons. Actually, Hanumanji, when goes to find Sitaji and finds her in Ashoka Vatika, he asks Sitaji, that I can take you back to Sri Rama. No problem. I have that much power now, I know. But Sitaji says, no, it's not just about me. I can go back and become, be united with Sri Rama. But that's not the point. There are so many other women that Ravana has captured and kept with him. There are Devatas which are kept as prisoners by Ravana. There are many things that he has stolen from different places and kept here. So it's not just about me, it's against this wrong Adharmi Ravana. And therefore, to rescue all these Devatas and all the women there, Bhagavan came as Sri Rama. What a beautiful avatar. Saptama avatar, 7th avatar of Sri Rama. And ideal Purushottama Rama. Ideal human being, how one should live, that is what he demonstrated through his entire life. I can go on and on, but I don't have to, because we see so many stories of Sri Rama. So Nupekshikata Ramadasa Abhimani, that Sri Rama never forsakes his devotees, of whom he is very proud of. Right? We go forward, verse number 124, next avatar. Taye Draupadi Karane Lagavege त्वरे धावतो सर्व सांडूनी मागे, कळी लागी जाला असे बौद्ध मौनी, नुपेक्षी कदा देव भक्ताभिमानी. जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ. In some traditions, Balarama is considered as one of the Dashawataras of Mahavishnu. But in the tradition that North and Maharashtra etc. follows, Balarama is considered to be avatara of Shesha. Sheshanag, on which Bhagavan Shri Mahavishnu is lying, his avatar is Lakshmana and Balarama. So Lakshmana as the younger brother of Sri Rama and Balarama as the elder brother of Sri Krishna. These are considered to be avatars of that Shesha. But in some traditions, Balarama is considered as avatar of Mahavishnu, one of the main 10 avatars. So they will speak of 3 Ramas: Parashurama, Sri Rama, Balarama. That is how they will speak. And then Sri Krishna avatar. But in the majority of the tradition, Sri Krishna is considered to be the 8th avatar. If you consider Balarama as avatar, then Sri Krishna will become 9th avatar. Then the whole thing will little bit be changed. So in most of the traditions, Sri Krishna is the 8th avatar, born on Ashtami also, and 9th avatar is considered as Gautama Buddha. Gautam Buddha is considered to be the 9th avatar. Not Purnavatara, Amshavatara only, Jnanavatara, but that is considered to be the 9th avatar. So Sri Krishna avatar what? Taye Draupadi karane lagavege. He hurried to save Draupadi. Tvare dhavato sarva sandunima. And he immediately came there, keeping everything aside. Actually, if you see very carefully into these Puranic stories, etc., what happened with Draupadi in that Sabha when Dushasana, etc., tried to disrobe her is the kind of shift of human mind. See, Ravana kidnapped Sita ji but could not do anything to her. Then you come to Dwapar Yuga and something bad happened actually with Draupadi. And then you are coming to Kali Yuga and now you see what all things are happening. Right? But important thing is we must look into our history. What was the reaction? When Ravana tried to kidnap Sita ji, what happened? Battle happened where Ravana was killed. When Draupadi was disrobed, what happened? Battle happened when all the Kauravas who were responsible were killed. And if you actually read Mahabharata, no, it is a very painful portion when that entire thing happens, because we understand so many things. It was Karna's idea to bring Draupadi into that Sabha after winning her over that Dyuta. And she gives lot of logical reasons, dharmic also. According to Dharma, she asks question that if Pandavas have put themselves on bet first and they have lost themselves, how can Yudhishthira bet on me? Because if they have lost themselves first, I don't belong to them anyways. How can they put me in bet? And I am not some object which can be put for bet, etc. So many things she argues. Nobody listens. Nobody listens and does that terrible thing right in the Sabha. Imagine king is sitting there. In front of him, if all these things are happening, and great people like Dronacharya, Bhishmacharya, Kripacharya, everybody is there. They do not do anything. Pandavas do not do anything. And Draupadi keeps on asking from everyone, help. No, nobody helps. She thinks that I will be able to help myself. That also does not happen. That time she remembers Bhagavan, and it is said Bhagavan immediately comes to the rescue and saves Draupadi's honor. But what portion I like more in Mahabharata is after that. After that incident is over, Pandavas have gone into forest for that Vanavasa. When Sri Krishna meets them for the first time, you should see how livid Sri Krishna is. Absolutely angry. Because this is the first time he is meeting them personally, okay? There he only appeared as saris and to help and to save her honor. But later on, when actually Sri Krishna meets, he is absolutely angry, and of course he is angry on Kauravas, etc. There is no doubt about it. He is angry on Pandavas like anything. How can you just stand there and not do anything? He looks at Draupadi and says, Draupadi, every single person who did this to you and every single person who stood there without doing anything will have to pay for it, including your husbands. Right in front of them, he says. Shri Krishna actually gets angry on Draupadi also, saying, why didn't you remember me before? Why did you take so much time to remember me? If you would have remembered me before, I would have come before. He says, that's the thing. If you remember Bhagavan, I will come. But you should have remembered me before. I would not have allowed you to go there itself. The whole thing would not have happened. So he actually gets angry on Draupadi also. And he says only one person is saved from all these things, and that is Vikarna. So one of the Kauravas who stood against this whole thing. Vikarna was one of the brothers of Duryodhana, and he stood against the whole thing. Imagine all his brothers, all his elders, even Pandavas are not saying anything, but he stood up saying that no, this cannot happen. As long as I am alive, I will not allow this to happen. And they captured him and threw him out. He fought whatever he could, but he fought. Shri Krishna, in front of the entire battlefield, in front of all those who have gathered in that Kurukshetra, he congratulates Vikarna when he meets Vikarna, saying that only you stood for what was wrong. So actually speaking, Shri Krishna had tremendous anger towards this act. So, when these acts, etc., are happening around us also now, unfortunately, in the world, we should remember we are the descendants of Sri Rama and Sri Krishna. When needed, they took weapons in hand, not torch march. That I will show my resistance, I will show my protest. Nothing, no protest. Fight. If legal fight is required, legal fight. If that is not going to happen, revolt. Wrong things should never be encouraged. And the person who stands without doing anything against this wrong is equally responsible with the people who are doing it. That's what Sri Krishna showed us. Pandavas he held as equally responsible as Kauravas. Of course, Karna and all of them also. But that is what we see in Bhagavan. He came to help Draupadi without thinking anything. He ran towards her. Nupekshikada deva bhakta bhimani. And the ninth avatar we see is Kali lagi zala ase Bauddha Mauni. Kali lagi means in Kali Yuga, he became Bauddha. He became Buddha, enlightened person, Siddhartha, the prince. Now this is also very interesting. Many people, because another religion is started in the name of Gautam Buddha. See, Gautam Buddha never started any religion. Please understand. That's the interesting thing about history. None of these people actually started any religion. It's the followers who started the religion. Neither Jesus Christ, nor Muhammad, nor Gautam Buddha started any religion. They didn't decide that, okay, now let us separate. No, they gave one path. People started following it. So many people, because of that Bauddha Dharma is there, they say no, Gautam Buddha is not avatar because avatars are Hindu. Everybody was Hindu only before. What is this? The concept of Hindu itself was not there at that time. And in Bhagavad, etc., Gautam Buddha is one of the avatars. It's mentioned. In Narayana Kavacham, it is mentioned, Buddhastu pakhanda ganat pramadat. You protect me. When Narayana Kavacham, when he is asking protection from different avatars of his, he asks from protection from Buddha also. What he says, he prays to Gautam Buddha saying that, please save me from pakhanda. Pakhanda means wrong, perverse logic. We have seen this word before. Right? So actually they say Kali Yuga, Buddha avatar happened for what? To take those people who are not eligible to study Vedas away from the Vedas. So he gave that kind of logic which will appeal to them, and they will go away from the Vedas so that the Vedas and its knowledge will be protected. You imagine, all those who are not eligible, he sent them away. He took them with him. That's what Gautam Buddha did. So Buddhist philosophies which are there, they are against Vedas, if you see. That's why they are called as Nastika Darshanas. That was not to object on Vedas or no. Those people who are not ready for it will follow that philosophy and will follow some path, not trouble them. So what path they should follow? If somebody does not follow Vedas, there is a chance that they will become violent and adharmi. In order for them not to become that, he gave the path of non-violence. Mauni. Very intelligent thing. Very intelligent thing. It is something like all the criminals who have problem with the judiciary system, he creates a separate branch of them where they do not take part in any violence. That is similar thing Gautam Buddha has also done. Right? So, Kalilagi Jala ase Bauddha Mauni. Nupekshikada Deva Bhakta Bhivani. And then the last avatar, let us see verse 125. Anatha dinakarane janmata hai, kalanki pudhe deva honar ahe, taya varnita shinali vedavani, nupekshi kada deva bhakta bhimani. Jai Jai Raghuvira Samartha. Kalki avatar will happen. Kalanki pudhe deva honara ahe. Samarth Ramdas Swami says the last avatar of Dashavatara of Mahavishnu is going to happen. Kalki avatar, which will happen at the end of Kali Yuga. Why Bhagavan takes so many avatars? He says Anatha dinakarane janmatahe. Janmatahe, he takes birth, he takes avatar for what? For anatha and dina. For those people who have no other support, anatha, and dina, those who are downtrodden. For them he takes avatar. Taya varanita shinali vedavani. Singing the glories of this great Lord, even the Vedas have become tired. Nupekshi kada deva bhakta bhimani. But he never becomes tired. He keeps on saving devotees and never forsakes his devotees. Right? That is the greatness of all these avatars. Right? Sufficient for today. With this topic, there are some more important concepts related to avatara which we will see in the next session, and then we will see the remaining verses. Some important concepts about avatara are required. What is avatara? How avatara happens, when does it happen, why does it happen, etc. We will see them in the next session, and then we will continue forward. We will conclude with Dhamma Sankirtanam. Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. Keshava Hari, Keshava Hari, Keshava Hari, Keshava, Keshava Hari, Keshava Hari, Keshava Hari, Keshava, Madhava Hari, Madhava Hari, Madhava Hari, Madhava, Madhava Hari, Madhava Hari, Madhava Hari, Madhava, Govinda Hari, Govinda Hari, Govinda Hari, Govinda, Govinda Hari, Govinda Hari, Govinda Hari, Govinda. Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. Kshirabdhi Shayana Narayana, Kshirabdhi Shayana Narayana, Shri Lakshmi Ramana Narayana, Shri Lakshmi Ramana Narayana, Vaikunthavasa Narayana, Vaikunthavasa Narayana, Vaidehi Ramana Narayana, Vaidehi Ramana Narayana. Om Namo Narayana, 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 Om Namo Narayana. Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam, Govinda Govinda. Siyavara Ramachandra ki jai, Radhavara Krishna Chandra ki jai, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरि ओम. हरि ओम.